Hello everyone, this is Arukya from EazyTutor. Hope you guys are safe in this tough situation, COVID-19. In this video, we are going to discuss about one simple command line tool. In my previous videos, I have explained how to do web automation. And using that automation techniques, I have come up with one simple tool which checks the provided username and password against multiple social networks, and it will give you whether it's a valid credential or not automatically using browser automation. So I have prepared that tool, so I'll explain and I'll take you through the script and the execution flow, how it actually works. So yeah, let's see. Let me a little bit zoom. Okay, here this is my folder structure. This one I am planning to put it in GitHub, so I have prepared as a Git repo, and I have my separate virtual environment for this application, and this is source code, and here I have main Python script. You can see I'll let you know the options. Here we have our base path, and here for configuration I am using YAML module. You can explore what is YAML and how better it is than the standard configuration file using .ini. And here I am using argparse to parse the command line arguments, and here this is a standard help message, and I have 1 2 3 4 arguments. First one is to list the available social media sites. Second one is to provide a custom list of social media sites. Third and fourth is username and password. And here I am checking whether if you ask for to list the sites, I am checking the parameter list sites, and I am fetching the keys from config. Config is nothing but my configuration file, which is here, list of sites, and it's required data. I'll come to that later. So this list of keys, this list will come and it will be printed in the screen. I can show you that. Okay, this one -h, see, is a help commands. Here I am going to check the list of available sites. Yes, you see Google, Twitter, Facebook, GitHub, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest. Okay, let's break the script now. Okay, this is how it executes. Then I am checking for whether the user provided username through CLI. If they have provided, I store the same username, and if it is not, I'll be prompting the user to enter the username. And the same way password. For password, I'm using getPass library. So this will avoid printing the password in the screen when you enter the password. So it will store in the password variable. And if you have mentioned custom sites, let's say I don't want to check all the sites, I want to check only a couple of them, then you can give a comma separated list and simple validation whether it exists in our configuration file or not. If it is not, I'll be fetching all the sites, and that's it. Here I am instantiating one credential checker class. This does the whole thing for us. Here I'll be passing log object for logging. In this script I'm using one library called log0, so definitely you guys can check it out. It's better with color based output for different log levels, so that you can check it out. Here I have a credential checker. Let me open that. Cred checker. This is a class. Here I am initiating the base path and username and password, which I am passing here, and log object as well. And I am reading the config file again, and I store the entire details in my self.config. And these sites I check the username and password by simulating the login request using browser. So here I have browser call, which is nothing but one more file from here, browser call. For now, let me close this. Yeah, here you can see this browser call. I have imported Selenium WebDriver. If you have seen my last video, you may be familiar with this thing, WebDriver. And here if you see, if you run this script in the Windows platform, I load the proper WebDriver. If you run in Linux, based on that, it will be populating that WebDriver appropriately. And if we have a separate WebDriver for 32-bit and 64-bit architecture, so for that also we have handled here. And we have given the exact WebDriver path here, and here we have options object as well, in case if we want to run our browser completely headless, so we can enable that here. That's one. Here I have this option, so you can comment it out. If you want, you can provide in the config file itself as well. And while deleting, this is a constructor, and when I have given destructor as well. When this object gets deleted, close the browser. And one more method to open the URL, one more method to send keys. Send keys will accept XPath to look for, and keys to be sent to that XPath. And click element, the same. Check the element which has been given from this XPath and simulate click event. And check visible content. This will check whether this particular XPath is visible or not. The display attribute of that particular DOM element is visible or not. Okay, this is what the browser call. Okay, let's check here. Yeah, here this site checker is a method which will check the individual sites using this data. Config is the config of site name, which is the individual config section. This is the one. Here I'll explain what are these individual stuff. This is open type is browser. Initially, you know, I thought to have two options, browser and plain request as well. So this config I have prepared. And username XPath and username next XPath, password XPath, password next XPath, login URL, and result patterns. So each site is different. The way the validate our input is different. So I have given failure patterns as well, whether some sites will have this plain text to check for in the response after clicking the submit button, and some websites will have XPaths to check. If you see LinkedIn, they have multiple XPath elements in the login page itself. They'll be checking this, they'll be enabling this dynamically based on the type of error which occurs. So like that we have given here failure XPaths. Okay, now what this site checker will do, it evaluates the site name dot site name dot capitalize. So basically site name dot first letter caps of that particular site name. So if let's say an example, if I'm going to check for Google, then it evaluates Google dot caps Google. So caps Google is a class from this file. You can see there are multiple files here inside util. Google, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, all the individual social media sites. If you see Google, this object we need to instantiate here. That is what the site object will how to say, the site object, that's what the site object is. Now I am doing site object dot setup. Let's see what is it setup. This initialization, it will be simple. This setup, this will instantiate all the class level variables, self username, password, config, log object, and everything. And the login method will handle the exact actions. First debug, testing in progress, then open URL, then send keys for username XPath and username, and send after that if the status is available. Okay, then click element user next, because if you observe Google, first you will be entering username, then you click next, then you will be entering password, then only you'll be clicking next again, then only whether you're able to successfully place a request or not, you will come to know. So that logic is here for each site. You can check it out, LinkedIn and GitHub as well. Okay, the assumption we made here is so if you have configured two-factor authentication, once you enter password, it will be prompting a OTP, which I assume like that's a successful authentication, which prompts for second level. So whatever the credentials you have given is correct for that particular site. So we don't need to go for two-factor authentication, since it's just a validation across social networks. So basically this main purpose of this script is most of the people use the same username and password across all social media sites. So this will help us to check easily whether the same credential has been used across all social networks. So this common.py, it's a common utilities like read config, get config section and all. So this is the library. So I'll give a test run. For that, let me run this with one credential. For that, what I'm going to do is, for testing, I put this as a get passed because I don't want to print the username in while testing. Okay, I want to test with all the social media, so I am not providing any input in the command line, so it should prompt me username. I'm giving my username. Okay, password. Okay, I have entered both, and it will be opening a browser. It will be attempting to resolve it. Sorry, I have closed. Let me close this as well, because the browser will be opening now, so I want to disable that. Let me disable that itself. Okay, let me enable this and command. That's it. Okay, let's run now. Okay, I'm entering password. Now it will be opening a browser, and here I'm not running any browser here. If you see task manager, there will be a Firefox running, because I'm using Firefox only for this. If Firefox process is running, then it's actually checking that login credentials. See here, Firefox is running. Okay, it checks for Google. Now Twitter checking process is going on. So likewise it will be keep on running. Now Facebook. Sometimes it takes time. It depends on how the request completion is detected by our Selenium driver. So now it's GitHub is going on, LinkedIn is proceeding. So after checking everything, it will give you the summarized results in the terminal. For LinkedIn, I have given one debugging thing to check the error patterns. Okay, now if you see why I didn't return anything is like this error itself is true. Okay, everything is failed. So I'm going to provide one valid credential now, and that one I'm going to check only for LinkedIn. So I check only for custom sites. I am giving LinkedIn. Okay, it asks me. Sorry, without seeing typing is very difficult. Okay, password. Okay, hope I have entered the username and password correctly. I make myself easier because I need to disable that while editing. It's going on now. The validation should be success. Okay, it's going. Second error message it's looking for from the response. It's not here. And for LinkedIn, it will take a little bit time because we need to check multiple patterns from the response. So that's why it takes little time, because they have different validation, empty username and invalid username. Form validation itself can be an error. Like that, they're checking inside their page. A large username. Okay, I think one more. Yes, you see invalid user with the phone v2. These are all the expats in their website. A text plain, no username. If you hit simply enter, it will this error will be raised. Okay, so whatever the credential I have given is correct. So I'll disable that headless and I'll show you one sample so you can see what is actually happening. And I'll remove this as well. So yeah, okay, for LinkedIn itself I'll run. Now I'll check simply EazyTutor@gmail.com, which does not exist, and password. Okay, now it will open the Firefox browser as a front end with the front end thing. Yes, it triggered because we have disabled headless. Okay, so it fitted username and password. If you see we don't recognize that email, please try that again. Yes, LinkedIn failed. Okay, like that you can try for Google as well. EazyTutor, sorry, Google, same EazyTutor@gmail.com, and password is some random stuff. Okay, it will open our Google. It will enter EazyTutor@gmail.com and it will proceed. Opens, entered password, it will enter yes, wrong password. That's it. It will say invalid credentials. Yes, Google failed. So very simple script with our web automation with Python. So I'm going to put this in GitHub. I'll share the description. I'll share the GitHub link in the description, so you can go and check it out. And if you want to contribute to this script more, you're more welcome. So we can collaborate together and build this much more with more number of social media sites. And thanks for watching. And if you like this video, please do subscribe, like and share. Thanks for watching.